And now to Richmond and new developments in the case of a man who brutally killed the Harvey family nearly a decade ago. Yesterday, we told you about Ricky Gray's efforts to avoid the death penalty. His defense was in federal court appealing the sentence, claiming that jurors did not realize he was high on drugs at the time of the murders. But new at 11, Britni McDonald sat down with one juror who says they absolutely did know. Britni, what was the impact?
Well, Kurt, despite the defense's efforts here, this juror, who only wants to go by the name Carol, is very confident in their decision in that sentencing that day. In fact, she was so upset she called 12 News just to set the record straight, saying those claims are simply not true.
It was a totally dignified trial.
Carol says she was one of 12 jurors in the trial of Ricky Gray back in 2006, where he was found guilty of murdering the Harvey family in their Richmond home and sentenced to death.
We were just hanging on every word.
She describes the nearly 2-week trial as a heart-wrenching process, hearing the gruesome details of the murders of Brian and Catherine Harvey and their 2 young children, Stella and Ruby.
Some of the jurors cried, just tears ran down their cheeks.
But Carol says the decision to convict him took no time at all.
When we went back into the jury room, it was like, he's guilty. It took 15 minutes.
In the 9 years since this sentencing, there have been efforts to avoid the ultimate punishment. The latest on Tuesday, when Gray's defense team claims he didn't get a fair trial, that the jury wasn't aware he and an accomplice were high on PCP at the time of the killings.
There's a question about whether jurors knew about the extensiveness of the drug binge that Ray, Dandridge, and Gray were on.
Oh, that's not true.
Carol says the jury knew very well.
We discussed his drug use. We discussed that he was high. I know that we considered it when we gave the death penalty.
With or without drugs, Carol says Gray was responsible for these murders and hopes the punishment is carried out.
He's responsible for taking the drugs. He's responsible for killing these people. I believe that his sentence was just.
And Gray's lawyers want the case to go back to a lower court to give Gray another shot at sentencing. We'll keep you updated on what happens. For now, on your side in Richmond, Britni McDonald, NBC 12.